Hello, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are. This is Tom from RV Travel and Living. It is a beautiful day outside today. Today I want to talk about traveling in an RV, not necessarily traveling, but living in an RV. Really the differences between living in an RV full-time or having a house full-time. There are a lot of differences. Now, living in an RV takes some getting used to. It's not something that a lot of people just don't like it. A lot of people love it. I loved it. A lot of people don't like it. It's not for them. They need a stable house. And what I mean stable, you can be stable in an RV, somewhere in a park or somewhere, yearly lease. There's many things you can do. A lot of them may require you in these parks 6 months up front or monthly and put up $1,000 up front. A refundable deposit that goes towards your rent. That's what they do. So like say for instance, they take that $1,000 and they put it in their account, and so you pay the first month, and then they'll just deduct. So I'm just gonna say that living in an RV is is a good way of saving money. A lot of people don't really realize. I see so many homeless throughout the United States. I was looking at San Diego the other day, in California, and some of the places. It's unbelievable, the homeless. They got so many of these boxes and containers around. They could easily make a container house and build container houses for people and help give them a jump start again. And that's kind of what an RV will do for you, give it that jump start. A lot of people are retiring in an RV. A lot of the older people sold their homes, taking that money, part of their money, and went and bought a $250,000 RV. Now, I wouldn't spend it. Even if I had millions of dollars, I wouldn't go spend $250,000 on an RV. There's no, is there advantageous to that? For me personally, there's not. You can go buy an RV for $60,000 and get as much benefit and a good benefit out of a good RV than that, even though it might be used. It's going to be used at $60,000. These RVs going for 100, 200,000 anyway. Like who in the right mind, right? No, the same thing goes about who in the right mind will go spend, $50,000, $60,000 for a car and have it parked in a driveway and they never drive it. Or paying $60,000 for the car that's out on the highway all the time. Or $40,000, even $40,000 for a car. You and I know that's nothing these days. You buy a car for $25,000. You put it on the highway and it get dinged up and banged and everything else, and go in the parking lots and in town and But living in a house to me was really a great thing. Upkeep of the house, constantly a slave to the house, slave to the yard, slave to the homeowner association if you're under one. I got out of one. But if you're slave to the house, and that I felt like I was, more in that little yard of grass or big yard. I had 5 acres. So it was always something constant. My first house was small, second house was medium, and my third house was big that I had for a period of time. But my very first house back years ago, I was slave to it. And I'm talking back when I was, 22, 23 years old. I was slave to my house, constantly something going on, something broke, and it was a new house. But I found that RV is going to break down all the time. You got a problem with tires, you're going to have a problem with flats, you're going to have problems all the way around with a lot of things in general. But I find that if you are smart about things and really smart and maintain it, and keep it maintained, batteries charged and running it and driving it. Just because you're parking in a park, you still need to drive it, run it and drive it, even if it's just once a month, to get out and drive it on the highway, get all the parts moving and things like that. I had mine setting for a year, and my starter died because I wasn't cranking it enough. And same old story. You find yourself busy doing other things and you forget about it and didn't do it that month. Had to jump start it, and then you let it run. And I'm not driving it enough there at one time, and I realized I got to go, and I started doing that. And I found that, why didn't I do this from the beginning? Why didn't I just get in it and go? It's such enjoyable. Even if you just take it down to a place, I don't care if it's 100 miles away, park it wherever, out in land, BLM land, or wherever at a park, and pay, $20 a night or $30 a night at that time, or stay in a state park, cost you pennies, and enjoy that for a few days and come back if you can take off your job. But living in an RV really gave me the capabilities to jumpstart to come in here. And I had more comfort in that tiny home than I did in my big house. I mean, I had a 2-story house. I had everything. A 2.5 car garage. I had a barn, a huge barn. You could fit the RV in it. And really nice. I had a loft. I had everything I needed. But then all that stuff I had more enjoyment in an RV that I paid $3,000 for. It was an old RV, but it's great shape. All four's been redone. It was really beautiful inside, painted nice. And when I bought it, I said, I could live in this. Got to live in it, and I loved it. And then when I had to get rid of it, I said, I don't want to get rid of this thing. But I needed to, because I'm here now 7 years. Can you imagine paying 7 years of lot rent? No, I don't think so. But I sold it within 3 hours and over doubled my amount of money that I put into that and what I bought it for. And everything worked in it. It was fine. And there was no problem. Generator worked. Everything worked. But, and I lived in it for 4 years, something like that. And sold it for over double the amount of money I paid for it. I think I got $6,600 or $6,700 or something like that for that little RV that I paid $2,500 for. And I and I thought I had it overpriced then, but apparently I didn't because it was sold within 3 hours. The guy came up and brought the cash with him in his pocket. I mean, he had it in all $100 bills stacked up like this, and he wanted that RV. And not only that, I had like 10 people call me. More than that. 10 that had my phone number. That had the emails from Craigslist and everything else. Within 10 minutes of me listing it, I had people knocking at my door. And I said, first come, first serve. The first guy showed up there. He drove up about 40 miles and bought it right there on the spot. He said, sight unseen. I'm not even going to drive it. I don't care. I don't care what's wrong with it. I said, there's nothing wrong with it. I said, let me crank it up for you. I cranked it up, ran it, turned on the radio, turned on the air con. He says, I said, generator, here, let's start it. Cranked it up, let it run. He said, that's all I need. Okay, thanks. Here's the money. Bye. I said, where's title? I said, here's title. He says, okay, I got to go. See you. I don't know what he's going to do with it. I do know. It was a Baptist church, and they were actually going to use it for people that in distress. So, and they bought not only one, they bought numerous of those. And I'm sure it worked out fine for them. But for me, I really did enjoy my time there. And would I do it again? Yes. And am I going to do it again? Yes. If I can ever get everything sped up in U.S. to get the visas done. But yeah, I'm excited to do that. I want to thank everybody for always watching my videos. And thank you so much for taking your time and watching our videos. God bless everybody.